And wanted to make a part two to my Kundalini experience. Um, yeah, the Kundalini experience that I experienced. There's a lot of episodes and after effects that I went through because I didn't know at the time that I was basically dealing with a new body and energy bodies that existed on different dimensions. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I've never really heard anyone explain the effects, especially when you're dealing with an urban setting. So this is like me having a Kundalini experience in the hood. You know what I mean? And I never really heard nobody's take on it, especially being in an urban setting, And I had to deal with this experience that I didn't really. It was like at first, we were just, me and my buddies were tinkering with the occult and, doing all these practices and talking about the third eye and doing all these things, but I wasn't really in that at that level. But we were doing it anyway, but I would advise anyone not to pursue those extreme practices. You should just let it flow naturally. If you are into some kind of cultivated spirituality, I would just find a master teacher and let him guide you to let it take its natural course. But somebody had sent me a question in the comments of, what powers, abilities did I achieve with having the Kundalini? Yes, you do get those abilities, but me personally, I had to pay for those abilities. Your body go through so many strange transformations. I guess I prematurely, and that's a very important word, I prematurely opened up these energy centers in my body. So I had to pay a lot of karmic debt. And these experiences, were very unusual. And it was like terrifying and beautiful at the same time, because I was very young at the time, maybe early 20s. I'm 39 now, but this is me in my early 20s having a Kundalini experience. And the experience probably lasted for about, let's say, six years, till it just settled and kind of just, I guess I started getting more mature, and I kept cultivating my spirituality and practices. But you do achieve those abilities of being psychic, meaning that you can basically scan a person's aura using your other bodies also. It's kind of hard to explain. I'm going to do another video on the secret functions of the third eye. But yeah, you get to scan people's aura, and you either me myself, I didn't really see colors, but it's like the vibe, you know what I mean? You can feel a vibe from a person real easily, and your energy centers processes it and gives you what that energy is, whether it's negative positive, or you get these vibes, and you get them strong in the different energy areas. These energy areas, what they call chakras, also throw out tubes of energy. They throw out these tubes of energy. Like if you sync these, then I know it's probably a good thing that your flesh eyes don't see all these things, because it will be very when my third eye opened, what was happening was, during that time I was doing this Taoist alchemy practice that basically formed an embryo, what they call it, the immortal fetus in my abdomen. And during this practice, it basically grows in your abdomen like you're pregnant, and you also experience those pregnancy symptoms, like bloated, you know what I mean? Like you feel pregnant. Of course, but it's like your energy body is pregnant. And what was going on during this course, what it does is the fetus, what they call the immortal fetus, came up through my energy channels. When it came up through the throat area, you get a suffocating sensation. But as the manual says, don't panic and all this stuff. But I was going through all these experiences. I was pretty extreme into all this stuff back then, and it basically comes up to your third eye channel, and it squeezes out of your third eye and kind of hangs in front of your head like a bubble. And I felt all these situations. So I was like at work, and I'll be talking to people with this sensation of something hanging all of your third eye. And then it's hard to explain, but it gets this energy there, and then it goes on top of your head and sits, and it basically sits there forever. At the time, I was doing so much during this time that I didn't really know how to handle all this stuff, me being young and stupid. But the effects were very unusual. But once that energy got on top of my crown chakra, it sits there forever, and it basically keeps cultivating. And over the years, it shoots a stream of energy out to the cosmos, and it stays that way. And based on your virtue and how righteous you're living, and living a good life and cultivating good karma, it grows. Of what some of the masters in the East called the 3 flowers on top of the peak. And that's what state I am in right now. If I were to close my eyes and describe how my head feels, it feels like a pineapple. So to my students, I always say, you want to achieve the pineapple state. Actually feels like a pineapple. And yes, you get these psychic abilities, you get these vibration psychic abilities, you get the abilities of premonition, which I don't really like, because you actually will see future events before they happen. You will see future events in your life or in someone else's life before they happen. And these are not dreams. You will actually see the event, like pre-recorded, and then see it play out in another time in your reality. I guess the reason I don't like it is because one time that it's like, it had me thinking like, is everything already pre-recorded? You know, it kind of spooked me out when I first had that premonition. But you get that. There's a diabolical side to the third eye frequencies. You can easily use it for evil. You can bypass people's brain frequency and control them. So, you know, with what I was at the level I was dealing with, I was seeing how, wow, imagine these black magicians that are pretty much easily mind controlling people with their third eye frequency, because you can easily control people's minds with a high third eye frequency, and they're using it for evil, you know. So yeah, this stuff is pretty deep, man, when you get into it. And there's a lot of other odd powers that come with this enlightenment state, which are too complex to get into, you know. But I'm pretty sure you can have this talk with advanced students and masters. But it's beautiful when if you are going through this experience, just stay rooted. The best thing to do is just stay rooted. You know, you want to work on all of your chakras at once and make sure they're cultivated properly. There's plenty of information out here to do that, to work with each chakra. And the biggest lesson is just don't work on one chakra. Make sure you cultivate and mature each chakra. It's like a form. You want to make sure they grow properly. It's dealing with these fruits, the fruit cultivation of each chakra. And when they grow, it's beautiful. And when you live a good life, it becomes beautiful because you experience bliss also. It's like the blessing that comes with this state that you will be in. Some people achieve orgasms with the lower half of their body. When you reach this high state, you get to achieve orgasms in the crown and the third eye, and it's very blissful. You actually stay in this state for as long as you will. But those are some of the effects and powers that you will achieve with this state. And I guess one day I'll make a video on how to properly cultivate each chakra and energy channels and centers, so you won't have to go through what I went through, because I was a diver when I was young, and I was kind of, you know, just kind of forcing it open. But you don't want to do that. So that was my take on that. I'll see you next time. Kareem Tut. Peace.